What is going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in. And today we do have ourselves a special guest on this live stream. I had to bring a Detroit Lion content creator on this stream just to get an insight behind enemy lines. You know what I mean? You can never have enough information. What can the Lions do? How would the Lions do? Who they have? How fired up their fan base is. But without further ado, let me introduce you to MicroMike. What is going on, Mike?
Dang, that intro is ridiculous. Appreciate it, man. I'm happy to be on the show. We are a couple days away from Lions and Eagles real football. I'm excited as all hell.
Absolutely. Football is here tonight. Bills versus Rams. Football kicked off tonight, but we are here to talk about Eagles versus Lions. But before we get started, let them know where they could find you at, what you're working on, and anything else that you want to tell them.
You can find me at Lions Talk with MicroMike by Chat Sports. That is my YouTube channel, at MicroMike85 if you want to follow me on Twitter. I put a lot of information down, whether it be breaking news for the Lions or jokes. Good time, subscribe, and follow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. His link is in the chat. It's easy access. Just go in there, click his link, and go sub him up. You know how we do it, Philadelphia Eagle fans. We show brotherly love, sisterly love, no matter what team you root for. That's who we are. We just show love all around to every fan, fan base. But so let me see. What's going on? Eagles news now. What's up, man? What's going on? Yes, sir. King. What's up, King? Jadis. Hey, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. So, look, I'm not a big Hard Knocks guy because, it is what it is to me. I think it's all overhyped. People could fall in love with the players or hate the players. And like last year, we learned a lot about Mike McCarthy. He is not a motivational speaker by any means. So what was your biggest takeaway from the Lions Hard Knocks? Just let me know, because I didn't watch it, but I know that your fan base is pumped up. Why?
My biggest takeaway is now the big markets, the media get to see what we've been seeing for a year and a half with our football team. Detroit's a small market. We're not known nationally. We're not a big name like the Dallas Cowboys, where they talk about it every single day. So people from all fan base get to see that we're becoming a physical football team, a team that will fight to the bitter end. We're no slouch anymore. We're no kick in the mouth. We're no bye week for a football team. We're in year 2 of the rebuild, and they're doing everything in their power, the leadership from the coaching staff to the GM, to make this a competent team for the NFL.
Wow, rebuild. So, so what makes this rebuild different from the past few years? You know what I mean? Like, is it the coaching? Is it the GM? Like, what is different? Like, why should Detroit Lions fans feel so different about this rebuild? And how long do you think that this rebuild is going to take to actually, people start fearing the Lions, or y'all start winning a lot of games?
This is different because before we never really did a complete ripping everything out from the studs rebuild. This started with our owner. We actually got a new owner last year in Martha Ford Hamp. Now, she is a Ford, but it's the daughter-in-law. And before then, we had Ford and Martha. They never really cared about the football team. Her first initiative was, I'm going to hire a football guy. She hires Chris Spielman to do the search and to get leadership. We get Brad Holmes, who is a guy who did scouting, and hired Dan Campbell. And what they did is got coaches who are former players and understand the game. They actually care about it from the top down. Before, there was none of that. They would just find a guy, hire it, regardless if they know anything about football. About Matt Millen, terrible. Bob Quinn, terrible. They actually got football people that know football. And you're seeing a big change regarding talent as well as leadership from a coaching standpoint and the whole freaking franchise.
Yeah, and don't forget Deuce Staley from the Philadelphia Eagle organization, man. I actually wanted him to be the Eagles head coach before Nick Sirianni was hired. I feel like that he deserved a shot. So how is Deuce like changing the the culture over there as far as his presence, the running back wise? I mean, what do you see different from him over there?
He's a leader of men. I love Deuce Staley. He's my second favorite coach on this football team. He's the assistant head coach, and what he brings is respectability. He's very respectable. He doesn't just chew people out just to chew them out. He's chewing it because I love you, and I want you to get better, and he talks about that in Hard Knocks. He's exactly that, too. He's not fake. He's not a front. He is something that Detroit needs to change a culture, a coach that cares and treats players like men. Yeah, he's going to be great for this year because next year he's going to be a head coach somewhere.
Right. Look, I would cheer for Deuce besides this week. The Lions have my full support after week 1. But all right. So how much improved is this line team? They went into the offseason. I don't know much, who all that they, picked up. I know that they drafted Jameson Williams. He's not going to be playing. I know they drafted Aiden Hutchinson, a stud, from Michigan. I'm a Big Ten guy, so of course I followed him. So how much improved is this line team?
Significant improvement. I was at training camp last year for the Detroit Lions, and it was absolute cheeks. You had a first-year head coach. All the coaches were first year. You had Jared Goff just getting traded, and the talent was absolutely awful. Our number 1 and 2 receivers, first guy got hurt out for the year. The second guy didn't even make the squad. So we're talking about a Khalif Raymond, and number 5 was our number 1, and Quintez Cephas, who was our number 2, got hurt. And all we had was Jared Goff, a broken offensive line, and a number 5 receiver to be our number 1. We were in a world of hurt. And so what they did in this offseason is they upgraded the talent offensively and some on defense, but they really got better on obviously on offense. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown now coming into year 2, and he's killed camp. He's been unstoppable. This guy's going to have a breakout year. He's going to be the bona fide number 1 for the Detroit Lions. He's good, and the intermediate routes, the big routes, he's got surefire hands. DJ Chark, who we picked up from the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's that deep threat, 6'3". The guy has stayed healthy so far in training camp, and he can catch everything. Josh Reynolds is our number 3/4.
Oh, shoot, I forgot about Josh.
He's balling with Jared Goff. Ever since he came here last year, he's been the guy. And then Jameson Williams, he's not going to be playing in this game, but when he does by week 7, I think that's when he comes in. This wide receiver core is ridiculous. And the offensive line is up there with your guys' offensive line. You got Taylor Decker, top 10 left tackle. Jonah Jackson, he's second year in the Pro Bowl. Center Frank Ragnow, he's either best center in the NFL or the second best Pro Bowl. Now, Big V's not going to be playing in this game. He's a really good right guard for the Lions. But then you got Penei Sewell, who we drafted last year. TJ Hawkinson, tight end. He's considered a top 7 tight end in the NFL.
Absolutely.
We got a ridiculous offense. This is maybe the best offense Detroit has had since I've been a fan, and I'm 37 years old. So I'm really excited to see what they can do here. The deficiencies is primarily on defense, and that's what's going to hurt us this year.
Oh, wow. Look, man. Hey, talking to you, man. See, and this is exactly why I love having other content creators come on my show to, because I definitely forgot about Josh Reynolds, man. He's a legit wide receiver. I remember when he was playing with the Rams, DJ Chark. I mean, he's a good, solid wide receiver. I'm telling you, like this line team, I'm telling you right now, I know last year there were a lot of close losses, a lot of heartbreaks against the Ravens. What, a 64-yard field goal, right? Or a
66-yard field goal lost.
66-yard field goal. I mean, last second. Y'all played the Rams very, very, very hard. Y'all beat the Cardinals last year. Y'all beat another great team. Like, y'all start to find your identity towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So now y'all added talent. This Lions team, I'm telling you right now, this Sunday you are going to see 2 teams on week 1. Week 1 is basically like one of those weeks anything could happen, regardless of talent, because you don't know what each other is going to run. You can't go off of last year because players are different or the coaching scheme is different. So you can't really go off last year. You could hope that the Philadelphia repeat what happened last year, but I'm pretty sure The players been watching that same tape, that 44-6 score from last year. I'm pretty sure that Deuce Staley gonna have something to say about that. I'm pretty sure Hard Knocks, y'all was featured on Hard Knocks. These players are fired up for week 1, and it's gonna be a better matchup than a lot of people think. But offensive line, you said offensive line injuries. How concerned should the Lions fans be about the injuries on the offensive line? Big V is out, and then you said somebody else was out. So now, how's the backups?
So Halapoulivaati Vaitai is out. He's our right guard. You're familiar with him. Our backup, Tommy Kramer, did not practice yesterday, but we have great depth with the offensive line. So Evan Brown, he's our backup center. He can play guard as well. He's a starting center. When Frank Ragnow went down last year, you couldn't even tell. That's how good he was. And then we got Logan Stenberg, who's our third guard. He did so good that they kept an extra offensive lineman. He's been dominant in the run game, so he could be starting. So, yeah, there is some worrisome because it's not your starter. But in all honesty, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, but you're still going against a Jordan Davis who's outstanding. But what they can do is they can simply move the protection a little bit, maybe have Jared Goff move out to the left, run the football more towards Taylor Decker's side to kind of alleviate that pain. So there is concern, but we had it all last year, and we had a pretty good offensive line still.
All right. Look, I can't wait to see that offensive line strength versus strength. But we are going to talk about the matchups a little bit later. But, okay, so if y'all not worried about the injuries on your offensive line, I'm not worried about it either. But I'm just happy that, that we have a defensive line that could probably, go back and forth with your offensive line.
Oh, no doubt.
So what is the strength of this Lion team? Because you mentioned the offensive line is solid, the defensive line is solid, your wide receiver core is solid, the coaching staff is solid. So what is the strength of this Lion team this year?
I could say offensive line for sure but right now, how about I go wide receivers? It's, again, so far in training camp, what I've seen is the defense has yet to stop them. They are scoring at will. Jared Goff is hitting his targets on stride. Everything in training camp suggests that this offense is way better than what it was last year. And in preseason, when we actually had the first string offense just one drive the whole preseason because they want to keep it under wraps, it was Swiss cheese. So I think a lot of people is going to be shocked with the depth at wide receiver and how this offense is going to move the football.
Okay, so for all my fantasy people that's watching, who on the Lions, would you have them draft, even though the season starts tonight? I mean, who, if they do happen to have a couple lines on their bench, whatever, who on the Lions is going to be a breakout year for them? As for a wide receiver, running back, tight end, who should they be looking out for? Who's the sleepers?
Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is he's on a different level right now. At training camp, I don't know if he got stopped one time. Jared Goff throw to him. Not only doing jet sweeps, they're giving the football in multiple different ways: short routes, intermediate routes, long routes. He's not dropping anything. He's fast. He's explosive, and he's angry. He got drafted the 17th wide receiver last year, and he broke the Lions wide receiver record last year. You got to remember, Calvin Johnson was on our team for many years, and he broke it in 6-7 games, put up 900 some yards. And now he's got weapons around him. It's just there's nobody touched him so far in training camp. So if you are a fantasy guy, whether you're an Eagles fan or not, make sure you have Amon-Ra St. Brown out there.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's not on the waiver wire. I'm pretty sure about that. Can he be the Hunter Renfrow from last year for the Raiders? Because he was an unknown guy. He played a lot of slots. Nobody could stop him off the line. His moves was just crazy. Could he be that type of sneaky value pick?
He definitely could be. I think he could be better. He does remind me of Golden Tate type of player, where he just gets open, he gets that yak, but I think he's faster than Golden Tate. I forgot the wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He used to be a hard hitter, a very physical guy, always getting open. That's exactly who reminds me of. The name is just killing me right now, but
way back in the day.
back in the day where it was Ben Roethlisberger. This guy would hit
Oh,
people, knock
yeah,
people
yeah.
out. That's the type of guy who he is. He's exactly that. He's very physical, and he's a number one. And I wouldn't have said that last year. Like, hey, he's more of a slot guy. No, after what I've seen so far, this guy's a number one. I wouldn't be shocked. Puts up 1,300 yards this year.
All right. So that means, all right, we're going to get into the matchups. So, all right, we'll start off with your offensive line versus the Eagles' defensive line. Who's winning that battle and why?
Man, this is the best matchup I think all season because we do have a great offensive line.
Hines
But your
Ward,
defensive line is great. Hines Ward, yes, he's a Hines Ward type of player. You guys got an outstanding defensive line, very underrated. Jordan Davis, Graham. You just go through the whole freaking thing of pass rushers there. It's ridiculous. And our offensive line is good. Who wins it? I think it's going to be a tie. I think you have Jared Goff will get sacked a couple times. I think the Lions will be able to open up the holes a couple times. It's going to be juggernaut, unstoppable force meets immovable object. I don't know who wins it. This is the biggest question because no one talks about your defensive line. No one does. And I had to do all the research on your guys' team for my boss, Herman Moore. And when I seen it, I was like, uh-oh. Like, it's just sick. So I don't know.
Well, look, I know last year we sacked Goff. I believe 6 sacks last year we had when we played the Lions last year. They did have some injuries on the line. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're not worried about your offensive line injuries and you feel like that their backups are more capable of holding up against the Philadelphia Eagle front, Brendan Graham is back. Josh Sweat is still there. Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, he's more hungry than ever on his last year of his deal, and he's going to be rotating in and out with Jordan Davis. So it's going always some fresh bodies going in there. Milton Williams, he's the backup to Hargrave. So constantly, don't forget about Derek Barnett. This Eagles defensive line. And that's only the defensive line because Hassan Reddick is more of a hybrid. Like he could be on the edge or he could drop back as linebacker. But I think that Jonathan Gannon might use him more as an edge. So now it's going to be maybe 5, 6 guys on that defensive line coming against y'all. So it's going to be very interesting. But it's all going to depend on Jonathan Gannon, how he used these guys. We don't know. Last year, he complained about he didn't have the personnel. Howie Roseman went out. Got him the personnel that he wanted. He got him the Jordan Davis. He got him the Hassan Reddick, the Kaiser White, the James Bradbury, a CD Deuce, which we just acquired from the Saints, a safety. So he got all these people. Now it's up to Jonathan Gannon. Who wins this matchup? Just because I see how aggressive this Philadelphia Eagles defense is, the front is, against the Eagles offense, iron sharpen irons. Yep. I really think I give the slight edge to the Philadelphia Eagles on the defensive line versus the offensive line.
Yeah, I'm not hating on that. You guys got a phenomenal defensive line. And this is why I'm really happy that we're playing you guys week 1, is our offensive line is going to dictate how our season goes offensively. And if we could, hold Jared Goff to 3 sacks with such a defensive line like that, who I think could be the best in the NFL, it's going to be a good year for us. Yeah, iron sharpens iron. Your offensive line, arguably 1 or 2 in the NFL. Your defensive line, same thing. You're fighting against each other. And now we get to go against a wrecking ball like that. So I'm real excited for it. I know, look, if we get a couple sacks, I'm not unhappy about it because to me, your defense is probably the most underrated defense in all of football. The talent from first player to all the way down is sick. It's ridiculous. And this defense is scary.
Yeah, and I forgot Nakobe Dean. I mean, look, we got a lot of bodies. Our linebacker core, we're going to get into it. But now let's reverse it. So now your defensive line versus the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. You got
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna give the edge to you guys for sure. Now, I love our edges. I love Aiden Hutchinson. He's everything that you'd expect the number 2 overall pick to be. In training camp, he would get a sack every single practice. In preseason, he did the same thing. He's a Nick Bosa type of player. It's exactly what he is. And on the opposite side, you got Charles Harris, a phenomenal pass rusher, and same with Austin Bryant. The issue for the Lions is what they can do on the interior. We got Lee McNeil, and that's pretty much it. And your offensive line, again, 1 or 2, I think you guys should have the advantage there. You can easily just go ahead and chip one of our edges like Aiden Hutchinson with a tight end or with an extra blocker, and I think you'll be able to win that matchup.
Oh, Weapon X, the Eagles highlight. Say, I'm taking Detroit offensive line. Okay. All right. Hey, that's pretty good. So, as far as our offensive line, we was ranked number 1 by PFF. I mean, you could take it for a grain of salt, whatever. PFF is all over the place sometimes. It seems like, hey, like one day they wake up, Eagles is the best team. The next day, boom, all of a sudden, hey, they're not. So, but it is what it is. But Jason Kelce, this is his last ride. You know what I mean? He is that heart and soul on that offensive line. He's healthy. He's coming back. He hasn't been this healthy in 2 years, he said. Head elbow cleanup this past offseason. And then his backup, Cam Jurgens, because Kelce was recovering. Cam Jurgens, his backup that Kelce handpicked. He's ready to roll if anything, might happen. And then you have from left to right, Mariota, one of the best left tackles, big body. I mean, unmovable force. We got from Mariota to Dickerson on that side, almost 800 pounds of unmovable force combined, maybe 700 pounds. That's how physical them dudes are. And then you have Isaac, which is probably our weakest link on the offensive line is Isaac because he's coming off an injury from last year. And then you got Lane Johnson. So the only... Yes. Who is your other edge rusher again? I know you said Aiden, but who else is the opposite?
Charles Harris. We picked him up last year from the Atlanta Falcons. He's done a phenomenal job in Detroit. He did it last year, picked up a bunch of sacks. We re-signed him, and he continued the process in all preseason and training camp. And same with Austin Bryant. So he's going to be another pass rusher, number 2. He's the prototypical edge. He has been exploding in training camp. Those are the 3 main guys I would watch for. Other than that, big body of Lee McNeil. He's the interior. You're not going to get a lot of pass rush from him, but he's the guy to help stop the run. He's that big old 330-pound defensive tackle. His whole goal is to clog the hole.
Okay. All right. So I think I will also give this edge, to the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. So now let's go to the running back position. I'm going to tell you right now, as a whole unit, but not one individual is the Eagles. But as an individual, I think Swift is more explosive than Miles Sanders. So if I'm going to give individual, I get to Swift. But as a whole, with Gainwell, with Boston Scott, with Miles Sanders. So who are in your backfield? I know Swift, and I think y'all have a Jamal Williams, right? Still,
yes,
from
yeah.
Green
So
Bay? Okay.
Yeah, we got DeAndre Swift. He's explosive. He's like a Miles Sanders type of guy. It's funniest because it's the same situation with injuries. Can he stay healthy throughout a regular season, just like Miles Sanders there?
Yeah, exactly.
Then you got Jamal Williams. He's that prototypical, I'm going to get you that 1 to 2 yards. Big back, very brawly in the center of going through the offensive line. But number 3 is Craig Reynolds. A lot of people don't know who he is. He's not great at one thing, but he's absolutely awesome at everything. All he does is gain yards. 5.1 average every time he touches the football. He did it last year. He's done it all so far this year, and that's why he's made this squad. We only got 3 active running backs on this roster. Freaking weird, but that's all we got in this game for you guys.
Oh, look, Swift up. But I remember Williams from the Green Bay Packers. He always used to eat up into Aaron Jones and his fantasy value. So I'm like, come on, Williams. But I know who William is. He's a very tough-nosed running back. I really think if your offensive line now is going to determine can your offensive line open enough holes for these guys to run through. So regardless of talent in the back, can your offensive line, we've seen that with the Dallas Cowboys. Offensive line, they got good talent, but they couldn't get no push from the offensive line. So I don't know if y'all offensive line is going to be able to get enough push or create enough holes for these talented running backs to run through. But we'll have to see. But I do like Swift, and I do like the Williams combination with Swift and Williams. A change of pace backs. They complement each other very, very well. So wide receiver against the Philadelphia Eagles defensive secondary, the DBs, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, and Big Play Slay versus your trios of wide receiver. Who has the upper edge?
We talk about, we could talk about our number 1, 2, and 3 wide receiver.
Yeah.
We talk about DJ Shark. You talk about Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown. But there's 2 other receivers that's going to be in there, Quintez Cephas and Khalif Raymond. I think our 1 and 2 will probably be locked down with you guys. Darius Slay, obviously familiar with Detroit. You guys got a really good secondary, but I could see a lot here. Quick 5-yard passes to Quintez Cephas, underrated guy, and Khalif Raymond, who's 5'8", but he runs fast as can be, and TJ Hawkinson. So when it comes to the wide receivers,
yes,
I'll give a little bit of an edge to the Lions because of the depth there, but it really throw TJ Hawkinson in there, it could go either way.
I really think, you know what, it's funny that you said that you 1 and 2 might get locked down, but I really see this as a slot matchup, even with the tight ends. I really think on both teams that the outside, to me, who's y'all DBs over there, by the way?
We got Amani Oruwariye. He's a pretty good defensive back for the Detroit Lions. He's our number 1. Jeffrey Okudah is our number 2 a couple years ago, the 3rd overall pick. And I think Mike Hughes is going to be our nickel corner for this game. Okay. So we don't have the greatest secondary. Yes, so when you tell me matchup between your offense and our defense, yeah. I think you guys going to win that matchup.
All right. So hey, I was about to say that as far as the outside goes, as far for the Detroit Lions, I feel like that we are going to try to exploit the middle. But now, since you told me about your DBs, I really feel like that AJ Brown, quick screens, or he might be able to bully a couple people one-on-ones, or if you're crazy enough to cover them one-on-one, then Devontae Smith would definitely eat Dallas Goedert in the middle. How's your linebacker core looking like? Because I think this is a Dallas Goedert game. I had another Eagles content creator on here, Eagles Mama, just shout out to her. We've been talking about it, that I think this is going to be a Dallas Goedert game up, through the middle. How's your linebackers?
That's why I've been saying this all week. It's going to be Zach Pascal and Dallas Goedert killing the Detroit Lions in the middle of the field. We have the worst linebacking core in all of football. Your offense is going to attack because we can't stop anything out there. We have a 6th-round rookie, Rodriguez, is going to be starting. Now he's good. Then we got Alex Anzalone, who's starting. In all honesty, he's probably not a starter on any team in the NFL. That is the weakest position on this football team. I expect you guys to exploit it nearly every single drive. Wow.
So are they good run-stopping linebackers more than drop? So they can't stop the run or play the pass?
Malcolm Rodriguez is I would suggest, probably our best linebacker, but he's a 6th-round rookie. He's going to make mistakes. Now, he is a hitter. He can tackle, but he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. This is not preseason. This is now regular season. And Alex Anzalone, he's a backup. That's all. When we run a 2-5. So we're going to have 2 linebackers out there. So it's going to be a dumpster fire for us.
Wow. Okay. I mean, hey, I'm feeling good and good. I mean, I came on this stream, a little word about the Detroit line, but you make me feel a little bit better, because of the weakness that we could explore. I don't know if we are, though. That's a difference. You know what I mean? As a fan, I can hear all these weaknesses, but if you could see the weakness on your team, I mean, you would think that the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles did his homework and should be able to see those same weaknesses, right?
I'm going to tell you, this is what you should expect is the Lions are going to be blitzing probably every other play because it's a significant weakness. And we've shown that in preseason. We've shown that in training camp. It's going to be a do or die defense. Aaron Glenn's talked about that. We know the issues that we got. So so sometimes you're going to not get anything. Sometimes you're going to get a big play. That's what's going to happen in this game. And, ultimately we're going to lose because of our defense and because of the back end.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. So let's just say this. All right. Because, it is the NFL. These guys get paid to play the game. You know what I mean? The games are not played on paper. They're played on the field. 3 reasons why Lions can win this game. Or is it just so unrealistic that we should not even talk about it?
Oh, it's not unrealistic. I think it's actually going to be a closer game than a lot of people expect. I have a 6-point win for you guys, up by 6 points. For the Lions to win this game, we have to run the football. It's really important to control the pace, do long, sustained drives offensively. If you do that, then it keeps the Eagles' offense on the sideline. It keeps it relatively close. If we can't run the football and we're just sitting there throwing the whole time, then it's going to be bad for the Lions. We got to stop the run. Simple as that. Jalen Hurts is part of that. Last year, you guys killed us in the run game. Jalen Hurts over 70-some yards rushing, and now you got a healthy Miles Sanders. I think he's going to play, from what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you guys run it down our throats, it's game over. And the reason how the Lions could win is if COVID happened and your team can't play.
Oh man, I didn't see that one coming. All right, so look, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I think the Lions can win. If they would win this game, this should happen. Jonathan Gannon completely forget how to call proper defense. He don't go after Jared Goff. He let Jared Goff sit back there and complete 80% of his throws. How unrealistic is that? It's not, because last year we was leading the league and letting quarterbacks have career years, 70%, 80% completions last year. But like I said, he got some new players, so we will have to see. But if we go back to that, if he go back to his old ways of letting Jared Goff go up and down the field, then our defense is going to be on his heels. And who knows, now the running game, all of a sudden that was a weakness, could be a strength and all that good stuff. So if we can't stop the run, we need to stop the run. Last year we were pretty good in stopping the run, but just because we did it last year, that don't mean this year is going to be, is the same stop the run defense, but we don't know yet. That's what week 1 is so unpredictable. And special teams. If y'all happen to run, get great field position, have a special team return for a touchdown, a punt block or a field goal block. It's week 1. Hard Knocks got y'all fan base pumped up. I do not think that the Detroit Lions are going to come out by any means. It might happen throughout the game, but there's no way that they're going to come out and lay down by any means to start the game. You know what I mean? So yeah, I see those 3 things could happen. Then the Lions could be in the game all the way to the end.
Yeah, and it's a sold out here. We're only doing standing up tickets here in Detroit. I don't remember last time it's been sold out. So everybody's really excited. The fan base is on fire. It's going to be loud. It can get really loud at Ford Field because it is a dome. So look, and crazier things has happened, right? Crazy things.
Yeah, look, just like Jason Kelsey said, right? Our heart and soul. He said, hey, you cannot go out there and expect any team to lay down. And that is 100% true, right? Because if y'all win this game, it could put y'all season in a whole new different trajectory. Y'all could be like, oh my God, we got this win, supposed to be one of the best teams against one of the best offensive line, best defense, and we squeaked out a win, especially last year, just building off the close games y'all had last year. Moving forward, anything could happen. So, So you never know how one win could change a team season, because that happened a lot of times. So
100%. I believe the Lions go 7 to 8 wins. Obviously, I have the Eagles winning this game, but if the Eagles lose and the Lions win, it could push the Lions into a playoff spot because it could be a snowball effect where it's, holy cow, there's two teams that I'm worried about on the schedule. Eagles is one of them. The other one's the Bills. So if you turn around and you beat a team dominant, who I think the Eagles are, both offensively and defensively, what's going to stop you from winning other games that the talent's much less?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you said that the Lions has sold out their stadium. I mean, do you think it's a lot of Philadelphia Eagle fans that's buying those tickets? Because the Eagle fans, they travel very well. I mean, big play Slay going back home, technically. First game of the season, we're supposed to start on the road to Detroit. This is where one of many special games this season might happen. So do you think, is it the Lions fans that bought them tickets, or is it the Philadelphia Eagle fans that really sold this stadium out?
Oh, it's the Lions fans. The fan base is juiced like never before. Hard Knocks really put that in overdrive. You got people who is on the radio who hates the Detroit Lions, rooting for them. It's crazy right now. This is the most love I think this team's ever had since being established in the 30s. So yeah, the fan base is freaking juiced here. And I'm sure there's Eagles fans going to be there, but it's going to be primarily Lions fans.
Okay, all right. So Eagle versus Lion, who wins, and what is your score prediction?
I got the Eagles winning this game. I think just all around the talent-wise, offense, defense, freaking great. The Lions got a really good offense, but our defense is suspect. And it's going to be difficult to stop a dual-threat quarterback like Jalen Hurts. We didn't do it last year, and I think all he's got to do is scramble, get those first downs. Our linebackers suck. And I have the Eagles winning 38-32. I think the Lions can put up 32 points.
Wow, 38-32. That's interesting, because I'm going to tell you how I'm going to get to my score, but I got us winning 37-14, only because that I really think the first half, like I said, the Lions are not going to come and lay down for anybody, they might go down and score. Something might happen, but I really feel like that you could only hang on with the team. You can only keep up so long before your fans just start getting tired of cheering. They're like, oh, here we go again. And then teams start feeling it. I don't know if it's true, but I think that it's going to be close at first. And then some adjustments are going to be made. We're going to start running the ball like we did last year, and your defense is going to be on the field for a little bit longer than this was supposed to be on the field. And we're going to take advantage of that. And that's how the score is probably going to go from 24-14. And then, and from there on, basically not in the game anymore. But I really think it's going to be a very close first half, though. A very close first half. The Eagles are always known to be a second half team. For some odd reason, I'm hoping with these new players, with all the Super Bowl buzz, winning the NFC East and all that good stuff, that they actually come out fired up from first quarter until the final whistle is blown. So you got 38-32. Yep. If y'all put up 32 points on the Philadelphia Eagles, this defense that's supposed to be a good defense, then y'all are going to have a very special season. Y'all going to put up a lot of points on a lot of people.
Yeah, I think we are. In 2011 was the best offense I've ever seen the Lions have. We had Matthew Stafford, Megatron. We went to the playoffs. They're putting up mad points. That offense was ridiculous. This offense is better than that offense. I've seen it up close. The depth at wide receiver 1 through 5. Last year's number 1 is our number 5 this year. So our depth at wide receiver is ridiculous. Our offensive line, besides one player, is healthy. Very good offensive line. We have a top 7 tight end in TJ Hawkinson. Our number 2, Brock Wright's been phenomenal. Our number 3 is James Mitchell. I haven't seen a whole lot from him. Our depth at running back with Swift and Jamal Williams and Craig Reynolds is really good. So this offense is good. And you got Ben Johnson. He's an attacking offensive coordinator. And then you got Dan Campbell, who goes for it on 4th down. Seems like every single time. What I've seen in training camp is something I haven't seen in a long time. It's just an unstoppable offense. It's been fire. It was not just training camp and preseason. We had just one drive with the starters because they didn't want to show the NFL what this offense did. And it was a cakewalk. It was like nothing. Jared Goff just standing there picking apart touchdown. It was, I mean, every player's open. It's going to be something to behold. I think the Lions offense is going to shock a lot of people on Sunday. You know, I don't think we win, but I think the Lions have probably the most underrated offense in the NFL.
So a bonus question for you. If you had a better quarterback, would you feel that this team could make a playoff push this year besides Jared Goff? Or is Jared Goff good enough, to do the exact same thing?
I don't think if we had another quarterback, they'd make a playoff push. Our defense is really not good. You know, we got a lot of players that shouldn't be starters. We had Matthew Stafford. He couldn't win us a playoff game, and he's better, arguably, than Jared Goff. I think the offense is fine. It doesn't really matter who's quarterback, but when you have a defense that's freaking Swiss cheese, how you really going to win? So I think Jared Goff's the long-term answer. Personally, I don't. I think we end up drafting one. I'd love to have a dual threat quarterback, kind of like a Jalen Hurts. That's my personal preference, but he's going to put up some big numbers this year, and maybe that convinces Brad Holmes, our GM, and head coach Dan Campbell to extend him. We'll see, but yeah, we need a defense first. We need a defense to talk about playoffs.
Okay, hey, I appreciate your honesty, man. Thank you very much for coming on. I'm about to let you go. NFL kickoff tonight, so I know you got another live. Let them know what time, what you're going to be talking about, and what other work you have, are going on throughout the season, not only today.
Lions Nation Unite, you can find me on there. It's a YouTube channel run by Herman Moore. Freaking awesome. Lions legendary wide receiver. And Chris, who's part of the organization for 10 years. We're trying to do something different there, player breakdowns, and be unbiased as humanly possible. And we do breakdowns between Lions and whoever they're playing against, their wide receivers. We did one yesterday. It has the Eagles wide receivers and ours competing against each other. And you can find me on Lions Talk with MicroMike by Chat Sports. Simple Chat Sports and Lions. You'll see this face. And we'll be going all week. Live stream today at 4 p.m. And we got some guests on and just talk about the game and Hard Knocks.
I would definitely tune in because I do want to hear it. Like, I'll be peeping on other people. Like, sometimes you'll be like, nah, man, we're going to beat the Eagles. And someone will be like, well, no, we're not. So I like to see other opponents, go against each other, other, Lions, content creators, so I could get a different opinion to what made you say this or what made you say that. So I will definitely be tuning in. And tonight, I will be going live to do the play-by-play 8:15. I will be going live. And of course, all season long, I will be doing a lot of live stream play-by-play. So I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Please make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button on both of our channels, man. Because, hey, we just out here, man, just fans. Yeah, we don't get paid for. We are just out here because for the love of the game, but all we asking for is for that like button and that subscribe button. All right. So as always, go Birds.